This Saturday is the anniversary of several very significant weather events in state history. Most recently, there were 23 tornadoes in Pennsylvania on May 31st, 1998. Then there was the infamous 1985 outbreak that included the only F5 tornado on record in the state. But perhaps most legendary was the disaster in Johnstown 125 years ago, May 31st, 1889. At that time, Johnstown was a booming steel town where life centered on the mills that lined the rivers. The growing city was built on a floodplain in a valley where two rivers joined, and the river banks had been narrowed to gain building space. Steep hills rose on either side, in many cases stripped of trees for lumber. All of these factors predisposed the town to flooding. And 15 miles upriver, deep in the hills northeast of town, was Lake Conemaugh, a 450-acre man-made reservoir held in place by a poorly constructed earthen dam. The lake was the centerpiece of the South Fork Hunting and Fishing Club, an exclusive retreat for a select group of Pittsburgh's wealthiest, including Andrew Carnegie and Andrew Mellon. The dam holding the lake back was poorly maintained and leaked, and inspectors warned of serious problems along the river below if the dam broke. But club members paid no heed, and over time even the citizens of Johnstown grew complacent about the danger. That all changed in late May of 1889. The weather map on May 30th showed a storm center south of Cincinnati, and rain began in Pennsylvania late that day. The low moved slowly over the next 24 hours. By the 31st, a zone of converging winds was parked in western Pennsylvania as southeast flow brought Atlantic moisture into the Appalachians. This was a heavy spring rain event. A post-storm analysis showed as much as 10 inches in the state. The area around Johnstown got 4 to 8. The heaviest nearby was 7.9 inches in Blue Knob. Around 3 p.m., the earthen dam holding back Lake Conemaugh gave way, unleashing 20 million tons of water into the river valley below. A mass of water and debris reached Johnstown about an hour later, laying ruin to much of the town. This picture of a house speared by a tree and carried downstream became iconic of the disaster. A stone railroad bridge that spanned the river in town survived, but debris piled up against it, creating a fast-growing mountain of rubble. 2,200 people lost their lives, with another 800 missing in what is still Pennsylvania's deadliest disaster. A post-storm assessment concluded that there would have been flooding in Johnstown had the dam not given way, but not a horrific tragedy. The rainfall water passing at the time did not have much significance in causing the disaster, as it was probably not more than 1/10 of that from the reservoir. Nonetheless, no criminal charges or successful lawsuits were ever brought against the South Fork Hunting and Fishing Club or its members, though many donated significantly to the recovery. Paul Knight is back next with the extended forecast.